Hi, I'm Erik Groenhout. This video will be about the conception, the birth and the growing process of my wood art, which is a mixture of art, craft and modern technology. What I'm going to show you is how I came to the subject of this video. What I tried to find are new ways of constructing furnitures in general that use less material. This is one of the first attempts. I see there's something wrong with it. It's a bad design, but nevertheless I show you. It's bad because there's a lot of torsion in it. It bends very easily. So this was not good. Next one was this one. And finally I came with this. It's also kind of boat. But I angled the sections, which makes it way more complex to build, but it's absolutely pleasing. If all the sections would be vertical, it would be almost like a boat. Plus there are options with these angled sections, because I could attach legs to it and so on. This is the first design attempt of my table. It is symmetrical, but what you see here is only half, because that makes it easier for me. For this example I will show you the complete thing. This here is the x-axis, the y-axis and the z-axis. Actually the x-axis and the y-axis, they represent the floor. I can change the position in comparison to the floor. I can change the width. I can change the position of this section. I could change the angle of the section. I could change the height of the total. And as you can see, everything changes with every little change I make. So the whole model stays in, all the parts in the model stays in contact with each other. To do all of this, I have to do quite some programming before I'm this far. And just to give you an idea, I show you what it means to prepare this design. There is another aspect of my work that I would like to explain. I love the curved lines, and there are several reasons for that. First of all, the curved line is mechanically superior to the straight line. Secondly, nature doesn't use straight lines. The curved line is an absolutely challenge for craftsmanship. This, what I'm doing now, is the last dimension that I add to this drawing, which is actually nothing else than the flattening out of the drawing you saw here before, the three-dimensional drawing. I need that to get my measurements, and you have to realize that everything comes out of a flat sheet or a flat blank, and that's why I need this translation. On my computer I developed two versions, a narrow one and a wider one. I will explain later why. I selected material. I choose for butternut because it's a local wood and I love the grain. In an attempt to save as much material as possible, I don't select out the nuts, because I think if we do that we will create a lot of unnecessary waste. And secondly, I consider the nut as a gift of God. A nut is a beautiful thing. If you think about it, it's the start of a new branch. itself is almost a poetic thing. So I kept the nuts, and I even used the nuts in my designs, like you could use the clouds in the sky to project all kinds of creatures. And I do the same thing with nuts because I consider them as beautiful things. I designed the decorations on the sections, and the next step is to program my CNC machine so it will be able to cut out these decorations and the contours of the sections. To give you an idea how that looks like, I'll show you a short simulation in the program that will finally do the cutting. Here it comes, and with this information I go to my machine and the machine will cut it out. This is the software that's running the machine. On the left you see lines of text that actually moves the router head around, and on the right you see a graphical presentation of what the machine is actually doing right at this moment.
Testimony of bill to end the sub-minimum wage for employees that earn tips. Maine Restaurant Association Chief Greg Dougal says tipped employees take home a lot more than their $3.75 per hour sub-minimum.
To fit the legs snugly under the table, I have to cut them in a compound angle because they are forward or backward and out. To do that, I have to cut the legs on the top and in between in a compound angle, which means a double angle. One angle is 13.5 degrees like this, and the other angle is 23 degrees, and I set that in my meter device. So this is one leg. Not to make mistakes, I made a rough sketch how it has to be cut. 23 degrees like this, so it has to go on my table, so like that, and 13.5 like that. So this is correct. This should be cut like that. The other one, the other leg, I have to change the meter so that it goes to 23 degrees in the other direction. Like that. The 13.5 degrees doesn't change. This is correct. That is correct. So this one has to be cut like that. And if I do that, the top will fit snugly against the bottom of my tabletop. The second thing I have to do is make an angle, the 13.5 degree angle, in between the legs, but that's the next problem. This is the setup I made to cut the flat surface in between the two legs. First I will push it through the saw. That's not running, but then you have an idea how it works. I push it through the saw blade and I reverse the whole setup now. So I take off the leg from the jig. Here you see the flat surface I just cut. This is the jig here. It's angled in 13.5 degrees back. the stop adjusted position in that direction of the whole jig, and this huge clamp makes sure that the jig is firmly clamped to my sliding table, and that's how you can safely do this, and very precise. This is the result up till now. I'm not done with it. There are a few things I'm not very happy with. The legs are maybe a little too heavy, although what I like is that they create a kind of middle section that's sturdy and strong. The wood I use is butternut. Butternut is relatively soft and has tendency to be flexible. So that's why I made them pretty tough. Here I am. By now it's April in Maine in the United States. It's still pretty cold. We had some snow in the last weekend, and there's still quite some ice. I painted the socks and I painted the side of the tabletop, and I like it, so I keep going. By the way, to make you understand why it took such a long time to get this piece of furniture alive, that's because I work on several pieces of furniture at the same time. I can't concentrate on one thing. I have to be able to walk around a piece of furniture, put it aside for a little while. So if I work on several pieces of furniture, it's way more efficient in the way I am working. So I will keep going.
I made this video to show what's behind the making of my furniture. Generally, small studio furniture makers don't use as much technology as I do, and I thought it might be interesting to show what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. Even though I'm an experienced teacher, I'm not a very good representer, and this is the first video of my life, so for me it's a big experiment. So it would be very nice for me to know if there are people who like this information and you watch this video. So please, if you do, subscribe, and I might make another one somewhere in the future. Thank you very much again for watching, and all the best to you. Thank you.